What's up, nature freaks?
What's going on, guys?
Dave and Jeremy back again for another Saturday slap in the face. Now today we are in the studio, aka the Eco Lair, to finish up our Costa Rican series. So in this episode, it's going to be a little different. We're going to be showing you clips that were cut from our other videos. They didn't make it, some behind the scene footage, maybe some dumb stuff that we do along the way just to prove that we're not as cool as you might think.
Yeah, if you guys are content creators, you already know this. Your first take is never your final take. There's screw-ups, there's do-overs, so you get to see the edited product. But today we're going to go, like Jeremy said, behind the scenes and show you guys a little bit of those screw-ups and mess-ups, just to show you the kind of realness and the difficulty it is to make these videos and bring them to you guys.
Yeah, a little nature in your face in the raw. Not the buff. Don't get that excited.
All right, guys, let's get right into it.
Nature in your face!
If you guys have never been to Costa Rica, use this video. It's a great place. It's a pretty cheap place for how exotic
it is. It used to be, but yeah.
It is fairly cheap. I mean, you can get a plane ticket for probably $350 if you go off season. Food is fairly cheap, although when we went 4 or 5 years ago, it was a lot more. But I mean, compared to, going to like somewhere in the States, like Florida or the Carolinas, it's just a different world. It's cool to see the different culture.
The meal, laundry, pura vida.
That's how it is.
That's right.
People who speak a different language. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful place. You got rainforest, you got ocean. I mean, it really is one of the cheapest exotic vacations that you can go on. And it's what, a 5-hour flight from Chicago? It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, even the further south you are in the United States, the shorter it is. Yeah, Dave, I mean, what Dave was saying is right. It's a beautiful place. The people, for the most part, they're really cool people. Super friendly, willing to help you out. Oh yeah, somebody tried to sell Dave cocaine, but remember that? Yeah, he said it was the best cocaine. No, we did not buy it, if you were wondering. Gotta stay awake somehow.
Coca-Cola Light, Coca-Cola Normal.
But some guy wanted $20 for us just to park at a beach. It's literally on the side of the street.
Yeah, but the funny thing is the guy is not affiliated with the beach at all.
It's not legit.
He just spots tourists. That's another thing. Try not to act like a tourist when you go anywhere out of the country. Yeah. See, I have an advantage that he doesn't, and you might not have ever thought of this, but I'm Italian, so I can pass for Costa Rica. I can pass for Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to say.
Costa Rica's on Hispanic.
I know. And so I blend in. I'm just giving you different words.
Right, I know.
So I perfectly blend in. I could be walking down the street and they won't even look at me.
So, everyone calls you Güero.
But him,
yeah,
he doesn't look the part when you're there. So
I don't blend in so much. Even though I do have family from Lebanon, you would not know this. Looking at me, I look super Irish. Yeah. But what's funny on that flip side is Dave looks Costa Rican, but he doesn't speak Spanish.
But he does.
But yeah, so that's what, if you go there and you can speak the local language, that helps you tremendously. Because that guy wanted us to pay $20 until I told him in Spanish, we don't have any cash. And then he completely flipped the switch and he was like, just buy me a Coke.
That's it.
Like,
so it went from $20 to a
20-cent Coca-Cola. I was like, we can do that. We can do that. So you just got to know what you're getting into there and talk to the locals about that. Like, what's going on over here?
One of the funniest things that someone tried to sell us in this trip is we were standing at a fairly busy street corner trying to film a pair of macaws that were sitting up in a tree.
Scarlet macaws, yeah.
Scarlet macaws. It was at this iguana park. That doesn't matter. But I see at the corner of my eye some guy approach Jeremy.
Oh yeah, he saw me and he was like, beep.
Right? He comes holding this dead mackerel fish. It was probably about, 2 feet, gutted. It was probably 10 hours old. It looked totally dried up and shriveled. And he's trying to sell us
mackerel jerky,
for food. And then this guy's just probably, I don't know if he was homeless, but obviously he was very poor. He just wanted to make a few bucks so he could get something to eat. So he was trying to sell us a dead fish. And I of course, I took the camera and I started filming because I knew it was kind of funny. I didn't think we were going to use it in a video, but
hey, and here we are. We're using stuff that we don't use. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. I mean, some of the stuff you know, they have little vendors everywhere you go. Some of the stuff's super cool, but I mean, a random guy selling you a fish, nah. We did find just roads that go in between forests, and that's a great place to go road cruising at night. That's one of, you know, a little bit of a little tip there for you.
Not a lot of people there. Try to find these off the beat places so that it's not overcrowded and you're running into other people. So
Exactly. So we found a really great place. It was about, I don't know, 30, 45 minute drive from where we were staying to get to this little town where it was forested. And Dave had spotted the night before in the other video the oxybalis, the vine snake. And you saw in the video, I pushed the tree. It's a real flexy tree. I pushed the tree over. Dave was able to get the snake down. We filmed it. We were stoked. So this night, I was shining, and I found an oxybalis, and then I shined over, and there was another snake, yellow spotted keelback, which we didn't know that at the time. Parrot snake was on our list to see, and so we could just see the underneath of this snake kind of had like a yellowy green tint to it, and so we were like, you know, holy crap, this could be a parrot snake, but we didn't know, could be, you know, venomous or mildly venomous. So you'll see in the video that we're wearing like these welding gloves, which those were meant for like coral snakes and stuff like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get nuts. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. There's a snake in this tree up here, potential parrot snake, and we're gonna try and get it out. So anyway, you're about to see, we tried to get this tree down, you know, we're coming up with a plan, and eventually the tree snaps. Like, I'm about to be able to get the snake.
You were like literally 6 inches
and the
from
tree snaps, falls, snake disappears. We didn't get it, super ticked, and so obviously that doesn't make it into the video because we're like, look, we didn't get this snake. A little known secret, if you know me and Dave and you've ever been with us on a trip, we tend to eventually we get in a fight or an argument. We're like a really good team, but we also butt heads a lot.
It's like having a roommate. You know, you have a roommate and you're around them all the time. You're gonna get on each other's nerves. It's just inevitable. It happens.
So that's what's happening. We're trying to communicate.
Tree down? No, I can go like that. That's about it.
Yell, and at one point you're gonna see in the video, I died laughing when I saw this, but he was like, "Give me your snake hook." And I threw my snake hook at him, and it just goes into the forest behind him, and I'm like, what the heck?
In the end,
Heck yeah.
you know, we understand this is going to happen. It's going to happen again. It's not the last time. But all right, so what else?
At the Airbnb, this place was amazing. If you guys want to know where we stayed, we'll totally send it to you, because you literally, every morning, you know, there was no air conditioning, so if you want something super fancy, this wasn't it. It was an outdoor kitchen. We would go grocery shopping, buy our own food, and cook. But every morning, it's just an open window with a screen. What time we would get woken up by howler monkeys?
Yeah,
almost
macaws.
every morning.
Yeah, there
like
was
5 to 6 a.m. You know, just
yeah. Imagine
it's
waking
cool unless
up
you're sleeping.
to animals in your kitchen. The first 20 minutes we got there, I heard something up in the tree. I shot, there was a kinkajou. If you don't know what a kinkajou is, it's just a really bizarre animal. They're in the raccoon family. They look nothing like raccoons. But unfortunately, I got zero video of it. I didn't have the equipment out. And that's another thing, when you go on these trips, one of the most disappointing things is when you find an animal, whether it be a snake, a mammal, a bird, and you're fumbling for that camera and you're putting your battery on and you start, and then all of a sudden the thing flies or runs away. I mean, it's like, it depresses me. I get, especially if it's a snake, because you know I love.
We're snake lovers.
Snake lovers. We love the photo, especially stuff that you've never captured on film before. And I'm sure if you're a herper, you already know this, but it is super disappointing. And that happened on this trip. We had several animals that that keelback. I've never seen one of those before, and I didn't get any photos of it.
We felt bad about breaking the tree, like we really did. We thought it would
a tree in a rainforest of 5,000.
It was almost like a giant weed. It wasn't a real, you know.
It was a little thin.
Yeah. But we're not out there to, you know, destroy habitat. That's not a goal at all, and we're very mindful of that. So we were kind of like, crap, you know, the tree broke. We feel bad, and who knows if that's where the snake hangs out all the time.
Yeah.
It'll find another place to hang out because there was literally a giant forest. It was one little tree. So.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, we buy our own food. This is just funny. We were in the grocery store.
Wait, disclaimer. I speak zero Spanish. I didn't pay attention in Spanish class.
I didn't pay attention.
Word to all you kids in high school, learn Spanish. I am learning now, but...
Yeah, I mean, in the U.S., it's like it's one of the major languages for sure. So yeah, I told Dave, like, hey, go get some spaghetti sauce, because we were going to get some noodles. We were going to make spaghetti super easy, we're going to get some chicken, stuff like that, just stuff that's cheap and simple. And so I'm like, where's he at? Like, he didn't come back. And so I go find him in the grocery store, and I see him standing in the aisle, and he's just staring. And I'm like, dude, pick a spaghetti sauce. He's like, there isn't any. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's just salsa. And I started cracking up. I'm like, that is the word for sauce. But I get it, because in the States,
Salsa,
if someone gives you salsa,
chips
you
and
think
salsa,
of like
hot sauce.
chips and salsa,
Yeah.
It's different. It's the chunky stuff. You don't put that on spaghetti, but obviously the word for sauce is salsa, so
Yeah.
it was just funny.
Yeah, that's
Stuff
one
like
example. One example of my lack of Spanish knowledge.
That's all right.
Help. Ayonda? Ayuda. Gracias.
But
It's
hey,
fun.
another funny, and it's not because obviously he just told you he knows Spanish. We were, and you might have seen this in our previous video, there's this clunky bridge that we drive our car over. And there's literally a sign above the bridge that says bridge closed. We didn't see it. I don't know how we didn't see it. The reason we know that is because when we were editing the video, Jeremy pointed, he saw the sign in the video, so we knew
It's in Spanish, but we still didn't notice it.
But the funny thing about this is it wouldn't have been funny if this happened, but that bridge could have been closed because it wasn't safe to cross. I mean,
And we did cross it.
we did cross it with a vehicle. We're not talking walking. And I mean, when you were on that bridge, it was. I was looking over the side,
And the
drop,
water,
raging waves underneath.
raging underneath.
If it collapsed, we would have just been swept away.
But to our defense, we had been hearing cars cross that bridge all night in the dark, because that's where we were.
Yeah, it was loud. It's loud and rickety and whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, so that's how, when we got there, it kind of looked like sketchy anyway, but we were like, other cars have been crossing it, so we could do it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into another. This is
What
probably
else
the
do we
most
got?
common annoyance, I'll call it,
Okay.
when we make videos, and that is just retakes.
Mm.
And when I say retake is when you're doing a scene and then you have to do it over again. There have been times where we do a scene in one take, it's perfect, and we look at each other like, wow, that's unusual.
Nailed it!
For the most part, and it could be anything. It's not necessarily like a mix-up of your words, although that happens a lot. I'm famous for that. I'll say something backwards.
¿Qué pasó, Nature Freaks? What's going on, guys? Dave and Jeremy here, coming from you in Costa Rica. We arrived here last
Coming from you.
I did not. Yeah, you did. Coming.
But I mean, there's been times where you're talking and a bug just goes in your eye. You're like, one time, and this is when we were in Costa Rica 4 or 5 years ago, the first time we went, we were filming something in this huge owl butterflies with the eye spots on its wings. They're beautiful. And I was filming Jeremy, and this thing just kept because of the light on his, you had a headlamp on. And he went to whack, and I was like, no, like, don't. He was ready to kill the thing. He was so annoyed by it. I was like, no, you can't kill that beautiful butterfly. Leave it alone.
This is a little out of context.
I don't know about that.
We had been hiking all day, and now it was probably like midnight or 1 a.m., pitch black, and we're walking along a river, like a little stream, trying to get back
We were in the river walk.
to the car, right? And so it's pitch black, and we just have our headlight illuminating to see, and this thing literally was just like
It was
bouncing
annoying.
off my face, and I turned my light off for a while, thinking it's gotta be gone, and I would turn it back on, and then
It was like perched on your
yeah.
headlamp.
So I got a little pissed. I was about to box that little.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons we sometimes will get into a little tiff, is because a scene will be going perfect, and then all of a sudden we got to stop and do it over. We're like, no. So
And obviously, animals don't necessarily want to participate in these things. So when you're trying to do a scene,
trying to get B-roll,
and then you're
can be
like
a pain.
halfway through it, and the animal's just like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." You know, like I'm over this.
Yeah.
Well, they went the wrong way. Tell them to go to the left. Not working.
That's what I said, but
Nothing coming. No bats. Okay, this is horrible.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, crap. Got a ton of them flying.
There's another.
Got him. He flew up in the...
So, you know, that can be frustrating, but it's a lot of fun making the videos, but sometimes it's not fun because it's more like work. You're like, oh, I just want to go view wildlife, but I have to do a scene, and it's taking like a half hour to do the scene that's going to last like 3 minutes.
A good example of that on this trip was when we wanted to fly the drone. We get a lot of cool drone footage, as you probably already saw in the video, but to get this drone footage, this was on the Pacific side in Capos, we had to go down this incline. And when I say incline, I mean, it was like this. And I don't know if the Forest Department, whatever agency it was.
It's probably just locals.
Maybe
I'm
it was
sure
locals,
did that.
yeah. They made these wires that you can kind of pull yourself up, help you.
It was like the cable where you would get Comcast to your house. Like it was that kind
It
of.
was like that black
cable,
wire
right.
cable. But it helped.
This is rough, guys.
Without that, I don't know. I mean, because we kept going up
Third
and
time
down. We were
we've done
there
this.
multiple days in a row. And, you know, you're
Yeah, how
not
much
giving
of
your
an
body
incline
time
we're on,
to
but
recover. You're already sore from
without
the
this
day
dang
before. We
wire.
had to go back there for whatever reason. We do a
Probably
scene.
pass out and fall down
I
this
took my
cliff.
camera out and I was filming as we were. And I
You're talking about a
herping
steep
for you.
pitch.
That's
Muddy.
dedicated herping for you.
dying, literally dying. It felt, my legs were about to die. They were ready to fall off. And he was in front of me.
Jeremy, man.
I just remember you turned. He
Man.
turned around. He's like, my heart's pounding, and I go, my whole body.
That sucked.
So yeah,
That's why it's good to exercise. When
Yeah,
you're
my
on
whole
these
body's
trips
pounding.
and stay in shape. I got a love-hate relationship with that place because it was like a hidden beach that these. Someone told us about. They're like, oh, check this place out, and there was no one there.
what you talking about?
The same place that
Oh,
you're talking
okay.
about.
Oh,
We
yeah,
flew
yeah,
the
yeah.
drone,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, you hiked. The forest was just like untouched, and we're like, dude, we're gonna blow it up here. We're gonna find stuff, and so we, we're hiking through extremely steep, and then we went off the trail through the woods. Like spent a whole day there, but it ends at a beach opens up to this like cove, and there's a waterfall to the left coming down. It's like paradise, and it'd be a cool place just to go hang out on the beach if it wasn't two dudes in hiking gear,
Yeah.
But it was beautiful. But we spent all day there and didn't find a daggum thing. And we went there multiple times thinking there has to
Pristine
be
forest.
there has to be snakes in this forest, and there could have been, but we didn't find them. And we spent 2 days hiking around there. We did see some really cool all black vultures there. So that was
what
pretty
was it
sweet.
eating? It was eating something. I thought you identified what it was eating.
And I thought it was like an opossum or something.
I don't know.
It was some kind of roadkill they were eating. We got footage of them. They're really cool. They're kind of famous in Costa Rica for seeing these jet black vultures.
Yeah. All right. So another thing.
You
and-
caught that iguana at the. We didn't show that.
Yeah,
at,
yeah.
at the Airbnb that night.
It was a small one. It was a baby, probably a year or two old. It was only that long with the tail. It wasn't a hatchling, but.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing about these trips, and thankfully nothing serious has ever happened, but injuries always happen. There's always going to be a fall. And one of the worst ones for me on this trip was there's this river that we had to cross to get to the waterfall that we were going to go and...
On the farm.
Yeah, on the farm. There's a waterfall, it's about maybe an hour hike, 45-minute hike. Andrea, who was
Our friend.
she's the one that her parents own the farm.
Grandpa.
Grandfather, yeah. So they have horses, mules. So she decided, hey, we can cross the river. We can get on the mule. When she was obviously on it alone. We were following her while she was walking with her, riding the mule. When we got to the river, we were going to take turns getting a ride across the river on the mule.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go first. I had my backpack full of all my camera gear. So my backpack probably weighs a good 25, 30 pounds when it's full because you got all your gear. So Andrea's like, all right, just kind of step on the stirrup, get your leg on there. Well, first of all, I was already sore, so I was having trouble getting my leg. Well, the second I got onto the mule, I probably can't even say I was on the mule. I was pretty much halfway on the mule. So I was leaning like this. That thing just went up and kicked. and threw me a good 2 or 3 feet in the air, and I landed. Fortunately, it was partly sand, some rocks, but man, I smashed my ribs, and I was down for.
There was
5
almost
minutes.
a video of this. Like, I saw Dave struggling to get on the mule.
I
and
told him I wish he would have.
And I was like,
recorded.
this is hilarious. And so I got my phone out and started recording. And then he was like, hey. And I was like, not funny anymore. Because he's just like, ah!
Probably the worst injury I've ever had in any of my herping trips ever. I mean, it was that, but I was sore for even when I got home.
Part of
One of the
deal.
funniest injuries, I'm gonna let you tell this, is when you went to catch. It was a rainy
Oh,
night. You went
yeah,
to catch
yeah,
the
that sucked.
basilis. There was a basilis sleeping. Easy catch. All you got to do is
Nighttime, they're diurnal, you know, and so, yeah, it's just in this bush. And this would have been really cool for you guys. Like, because normally we don't, if the lizard's there and the animal's there, we can film it. We don't catch it because we do prefer the in situ where the animal's just sitting there acting normal behavior.
All right, guys, we got a cane toad in a sewer drain right here.
Ditch frog.
Yeah. And you can see the big, I call it a parotoid gland, I don't care.
Parotoid.
He calls it a parotoid. I don't know, I don't really care. But that is one of the largest and most toxic toads on the planet.
I thought Mama told you not to play in the sewer.
A lot of cats and dogs die
Oh, yeah.
chewing on these things.
Even their tadpoles are toxic. They make the water that they're in toxic. But
Yeah,
we're
it's
like,
kind of in the brush.
we're like, how you know it would be cool is because this is also called the Jesus Christ lizard. If we caught this lizard and let it go at the water and it ran across the water, we got this on video, and you guys would be like, that was so cool. So I was like, I'm gonna catch it, and I go in there. Well, what I did not know, and what the local apparently forgot to mention, is these plants are covered in these spines.
But their hair, like, you can't really
not like
tell.
not like acacia where they're just like these giant
It's
spines.
not like in Arizona where it's
There, yeah,
swore at
exactly.
you.
I mean, but the whole stem is covered in these spines, and so when I reached in there to grab that, they went straight into the tips of my finger, and boy, that was pain I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
Where's it gonna run across here?
No, we're gonna put it in the river. Oh, fail. He's right there.
Catch it.
He's right there.
The plant.
The plants. Yes.
Ah,
So, needless to say, I missed the lizard.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now,
so-
here's how I know it hurt.
What are you gonna?
Listen, just hear me
here
out.
we go.
We do not swear. I do not drop F-bombs. I mean, everybody does. I do it on occasion, but it's super rare for me to swear. I just don't swear. He never, I've never heard, I've known him, and this is no exaggerate, I've known him for almost 14 years now. 13? Whatever. 13, it's going on 13 years in 2020.
Closer to 14, yeah, before I moved here.
Yeah. So anyway, I've never heard him drop an F-bomb. For how often we hang out and how pissed off I see him get sometimes, you would think that he'd drop an F-bomb. When he grabbed that plant, I wanted to laugh. Not because he was in pain.
Shock
because
value.
the first thing I thought of was, did he just say what I thought he said?
oh, fudge.
You,
It was.
I'm like, you
I
dropped,
didn't think I did,
you
but
dropped an F-bomb. I was like,
watching the video, I was like,
you're not perfect.
oh, yeah, far from it.
I'm cooking beans in the kitchen. Right here in the kitchen. Let me show you guys. Look at this kitchen. In Costa Rica. There's the steak. There's the...
So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do us a favor. Now that you know the struggles within, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, let us know what you felt.
Comment, we
about
comment
this.
back, always.
Yeah, and we will see you guys on the next Saturday. Slap in the face.